All right, next overtime topic here that I wanted to get to was destruction, and it looks like destruction has been really in the headlines lately because a whole bunch of ex-Dice devs started making a brand new game from Embark Studios, and they have a couple of games actually that they're coming out with. One's kind of like a Space Ranger type of game. You know what I'm talking about? Gravity? I forget what that was called.
I don't know that one. Just I know the
But
finals.
Embark Studios making a couple games. One's like a open world RPG kind of, and the next one's the
Oh,
finals.
Arc,
Arc
Arc,
Raiders,
Oh,
yeah,
Arc
that's
Arc
it.
Raiders,
Raiders.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Arc
they
Raiders is
postponed it,
that.
right? Until next year, I think. But anyway,
Yeah, so that's like more of a single player kind of thing. And then they come out with this like out of nowhere. I didn't know they were even making this. It looks like a BR slash multiplayer kind of game with the what do you call that foam? It was like my favorite thing in Tom Clancy's Division.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Security foam or something like that. Riot foam. That's it.
oh right,
Riot
yeah.
Riot Foam is back. Oh man, that brought a smile to my face. But look at this destruction. Unreal Engine, ex Dice developers. What is this? Like, this is insane. It looks like a lot of people are playing it right now. There's a closed alpha test or something going
Mhm.
on, some sort of closed play test for invites. But what are your thoughts on this, Lemonade? What do you think about what you're seeing here from
Yeah.
ex Dice developers compared to what we got now?
I mean, it's just freaking awesome. I mean, I love this. I love the look and feel of this. It feels, I mean, like you can see some like Battlefield kind of flavor to this, right? With the destruction, with the weapons, right? They're kind of using standard, kind of like modern day weapons. It looks like on not maybe not on all of them, but the movement looks dynamic, bringing some of that McKay grappling and you know the jumping and all that kind of stuff. Kind of hero shooter s. Do we know if this is a hero shooter
I
or
have
No
no
idea.
idea. No
it looks
idea.
like it has that vibe. Um, yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, visually it looks great, and for them to label that pre-alpha footage, I mean, obviously every dev's definition of an alpha is different, but looks pretty freaking good.
Yeah, the 2042 alpha was
Yeah,
That-
quite a
oh
bit
man.
different.
pre alpha. I just want to echo everything you said. This, honest to God, whoever cut this footage, this gives me like serious BF3 trailer, like the gameplay trailer vibes, where it's cut, it's fast, it's destruction and
Oh,
really fast.
modern.
Yeah, it's this gives me absolute, old school dice vibes, and I'm here for it. As long as the gameplay looks good, I'm happy to give it a try.
And it seems like everyone on Twitter who's obviously under NDA has been loving it. It's keep an eye out on it. It's super fun. And again, for early testing, that's pretty impressive because that's not what we were saying after we played the beta of 2042. So
Right.
Oh my god! I mean, just if you pay attention to like the foam on that trailer, it's not only I love Riot Foam. Sorry, I'm like obsessed with
I
it.
was gonna say
But
I found
it
a
was my
store.
favorite thing in Division when I played through it for the first time. That's all I had. Like once I discovered the Riot Foam, I was like, oh yep, boom! Like throw that shit like everywhere. But look how dynamic it is. You could build a goddamn bridge out of it. It could be pop up cover for you as defense. It looks like they had some sort of item there that you can move into position and then put a bunch of riot foam around it as like a barrier or something to protect it. I guess
It's like
I
in
don't
classic
know.
dice footage or methods. They created a sandbox close quarters shooter with extremely dynamic gameplay, and it's with great destruction, and that's it's just great to
It's what
see. It's
we
really cool.
want
Yeah. Um.
for Battlefield.
Well, yeah, and obviously, BF 2242 has been criticized for not having like any destruction whatsoever. So,
Right.
do we want a ton of destruction? I I think the amount of destruction is very subjective in a Battlefield game. There's people that always say
Exactly.
that,
Yeah.
hey, it's you either have too much, or I hate having things that like debris that kills me if it's falling for more than 10 seconds because it pisses me off, like BF5 did. I think it just kind of depends. I'd like to see at least structures be destructible and like you can open walls and stuff a lot more and maybe
Right.
collapse. I think that's I think it's more what people want to see.
There's definitely inconsistency in 2042, right? You have like certain, like you said, certain walls. You place a C5, blows up, and then the wall next to it doesn't. It's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
How am I
limit
supposed to know?
your sandbox experience in that regard.
I
but-
wish it was
Or-
maybe what they could have done is, there'll be a certain wall type that you'll get used to. Is like, oh, well, I know I can't blow that up, so you don't have to waste your explosives, and they're very valuable, But I don't know. That's an idea, just to like, just make the visual UI a little bit better for some. But whatever, it's not a huge issue anyway. But yeah, destruction always has to be limited. You can't. That's the main problem with Bad Company 2 is that people just leveled everything and just turned to. It was a nightmare, really. And in BF5, they thought about this, reconstructing all the things you can blow up, and that didn't really work out too well with the fortification system. It was too slow. Then they sped it up. Then it became useless. There was no hardcover, really. I don't know about the whole fortification thing. You guys might have different opinions about it, but the showcase that these DICE devs are showing off for the finals in Destruction, I mean, it looks like 2042 looks like a child's game here. Like what the like they're showing off on you, dude. Like Vincent Pell is gonna see that and then you go like, well, oh yeah.
I
He's a smart guy here.
I think this comes entirely down to what that Frostbite engine is capable at this point. Like, with the engine that was capable of the destruction of BF1 and BF5, it's still the same engine, but with the upgrades that they had for 2042 and how apparently much of a cluster it is just to work with it and get it bug free, and I don't have much faith in the Frostbite engine for the next game for this kind of quality.
Yeah, I mean, right, like wasn't that the selling point of Frostbite? The unmatched realism and the destruction, and here
That's
we got
right.
Embark showing us, hey, well, we're doing that plus more with Unreal. So,
I mean, Vincent Pell has worked with Unreal Engine. He say he doesn't have an issue with whatever engine. It's the talent that matters. He doesn't really care about what engine they use. The engine's kind of like a second thing to them. Second nature is like, oh, who cares about what engine we work? As long as our vision can be sustained in this engine, then we'll use it,
yeah, but I mean, the Gravity's point, essentially, I mean, it's just like, there's just less talent with Frostbite out there. So if you're hiring new devs,
that's what I'm thinking.
Like you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Looks like Unreal Engine is more universal. Easier to use across all developer skill levels, I guess. I don't know, but it would be interesting.
And there's a benefit
if they use it.
There's a benefit to using an engine that is also widely used because it's one that is more debugged and is more there's a greater environment and community of developers that can communicate and work with each other and even behind the scenes and say, how do you solve this problem? Hey, we've done this before, and that's a possible benefit.